Some ado right here on Rhode Island Free Radio, online at rifreeradio.org. Forget City, the name of that one. Now, when we went into that musical interlude, I had originally planned to play 2 tracks, but I have nerds chomping at the bit in front of me and in front of microphones, and I said, I can't let this good radio go to waste here listening to the rock and roll.
I'll tell you, it's a good thing we came back from the music because there was about to be violence.
That was going to be I was ready to put on my referee shirt.
This is the first time, actually it's not the first time, this is probably the 200th first time I felt like stabbing Mr. Garner with a pen. It might happen, and there might be blood witnessed here. And
save that for when we get the videos up.
Yeah, I got to shank you too, so you don't see anything.
I think I can help defend on that.
Yeah.
I'll team up with George.
So, Tony, now what is a nerd that gets laid by any chance? Because we're always called nerds, but yet I still see the inner side of a vagina. Now, there's a lot of nerds out there that the only way they see that is by opening a Playboy magazine.
Which, by the way, doesn't show naked women anymore. That's just,
no, and
we could do a whole show on that.
Listen, down there you can hear a nerd who's getting really excited.
Well, it is a basement.
Yeah. So what do you call a nerd that actually scores with women? I mean,
married.
That's not a nerd, though. Nerds don't get lucky.
You mean being married promotes you up from nerd?
Yeah, it's got to be, because now nerds get luckier than some jocks now. Nerds are popular.
Yeah. Well, I think you put your finger on it right there. Nerds are mainstream.
How many hot nerdy chicks do you see in the course of a day now?
Rhode Island Comic-Con.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the coming out party. Never mind gays and lesbians. I mean, this is like the coming out party fat chicks had a few years back.
Now,
now nerds are mainstream, but now there's, I guess, how we have musical subdivisions.
Yeah, there's nerd subdivisions.
There are nerd subdivisions. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, in our listening audience. There are still a subdivision of nerds that will not get laid until Judgment Day.
They won't get laid, period, unless it's by Rosie Mary.
It will never happen.
Yeah. Now I got to look at that. And now I remember when I was a kid, if you were going for the nerdy chick, all right, I'm going to catch hate mail for this. This is what I'm used to anyways.
We encourage hate mail. Go ahead, Chuckles.
If I was going for the nerdy chick, it would be the one that was probably 200-plus pounds, ridden with acne, braces that if I kissed her, heaven forbid, my tongue would probably get stuck in that trap of metal and chopped off.
Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah, well, a good gambler understands you're increasing your odds.
No, I like girls in Coke bottle glasses because they think I'm hot. When they know they have bad
vision. Take your glasses
vision.
off, honey.
Yeah. Oh, I don't forget anything.
Well, this is also known as grabbing the low-hanging fruit.
Right. Now the nerd chicks...
Or marriage.
They're hot. They're able to score the jocks and everything because they're the hot ones.
Well, they are, but part of the reason for that, Chuckles, is there's also a hybrid of... There's nerd chicks, and then there's... what would you say, poser nerd chicks?
Oh, they're definitely the ones that all they do is watch the movies and the television shows.
Right, and they put thick framed glasses on, who are not right. DJ Eddie's taking a break, but he is whispering some very words of wisdom from the corner of the room. Sluts with nerd glasses.
He's not whispering. He's getting exciting, and it's kind of creeping me out that he's doing that behind my ear.
Well,
Put that away.
I was going to say he's far enough away from me, but no, he's getting closer.
No, he's closer.
He's creeping in.
This is starting to remind me of that Sons of Anarchy moment, choking Charlie there.
But yeah, just to reassure, let's just get this straight though. Yes, nerds may be this, that, and the other thing. But there is, like we said, that subcategory of nerds who will never get laid, so rest assured. The universe is still balanced on its proper axis.
Yeah, there's no way. Like Fat Flash, he's not getting anything.
Put it this way. The entire battalion of that subcategory of nerd is now waiting in line at the Star Wars movie.
And if they had a pretty girl in front of them, they wouldn't even know it was there.
No.
Now, I sat on the same seat as Mr. Jones, sitting in line to see a movie.
For weeks, never mind hours, is flipping stupid. Now, I'm the biggest sci-fi nerd there is. I sometimes wish episode 1, 2, and 3 of the Star Wars series never happened.
Amen.
I will take the Christmas movie over those any day. But I'm still a little antsy to see what Disney's going to do with this because they did such a great job with the Marvel series that it's almost in their favor to not fail with this movie.
Well, who has the creative control of the Marvel franchise, though.
It's-
I know Disney owns it, but
Marvel
it
is
depends.
split amongst 3 different companies. There's Disney that owns it, Sony, and Fox.
Right, but the ones that were produced by Disney. You know what
Those
I'm
are
saying?
all Disney owned.
Right, but when you say Disney now, Disney is a big place.
Right.
Even the movie division alone is a big place. That's why what's going to be very important is who actually, we're talking individuals here, who
Right.
had the most creative control over a given franchise. That'll be the deciding factor.
It's-
Because the same,
yeah.
not to interrupt you, but the same Disney that owns Star Wars, Disney also brought us Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
And now, I'll go out on a limb and say I enjoyed those Johnny Depp Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but it would be a bad thing if they made the new Star Wars resemble Pirates of the Caribbean in tone, in
And I think they know that. Now, have you seen?
Hopefully.
Now, do you? Now, I know there's a lot of us that set back to watch the end credits of the Marvel movies just to see if
Wait, what?
they all give us that little extra
at the end.
at the end of it. And we all sit there reading the credits, so I do because I can read. And one of the people that you see that is backing the Marvel movies is still Lucasfilms. So I could guarantee you with Lucasfilms still being in touch with the Marvel universe, they're not giving up totally this to everybody that's there. I don't agree with them taking a movie like this and changing the rating to PG, only because if you have watched Star Wars, there is never any flipping blood in that.
No, they're,
People
in other words,
getting
they're, not,
shot
they're
with-
not fooling anybody.
Yeah, they're getting shot with tasers and Star Wars bombs blowing up in our basement.
I believe George Lucas is here,
Yeah.
and he doesn't like what you're saying.
They are not violent. They are good, everyday sci-fi movies. I mean, it's just like the Star Trek movies.
But now they have an excuse to sell you a Blu-ray or a DVD with the non-rated version.
yeah, which is bullcrap. There will be no blood on that. What are they going to show? Some guy's like arm bleeding off once it gets hacked off with the lightsaber.
Well, I think that might be why they invented the lightsaber in the first Star Wars movie, is so that they wouldn't have to show blood because you're immediately
Cauterize it.
cauterized.
Right.
Yeah.
And even the lasers, they go through. No, it's true. The lasers go through you. It's hot heat. It cauterizes whatever it hits.
Not a drop of blood.
You're done. It's a clean kill. Now, however, setting in a line for 2 weeks straight,
In the winter.
I gotta see if I can find me some extra pie material because I need to be on the side of those sidewalks filming myself nailing these guys
Do you-
with shaving cream pies.
Chuckles, do you still have a paintball gun?
I do.
I think I have an
However,
idea for our first video piece here at Rhode Island Free Radio.
if I do that, you and I
Yeah,
will
dressed as stormtroopers.
Yeah, you and I will probably be in the ACI in the terrorist unit after doing that. Not the greatest idea. So I am excited for this. Now, I don't know, Eddie. Where did you get that idea that Lucas was in his own mind? Who told you that? Stenson, because I don't know what's going on with this. A lot of things point to actually him being the villain. Really, it does.
Luke Skywalker.
Luke
being
Skywalker.
the villain.
Yeah. I mean, you think of all the characters that they have showed that have had interviews on television, and the one person they have kept quiet is the one and only Luke Skywalker. They have not had him on interviews or cons show up for a simple reason. I can guarantee you he's probably one of the bad guys, because if you read the books, Darth Vader's kids do go to the dark side. So one of them is going to be the bad guy.
Well, from what I heard, because I have friends everywhere, as you already know, they watched a advanced screening of it, and from what they told me, Luke Skywalker is in a self-imposed exile. He's not keeping contact with everyone. They're not explaining, or they didn't tell me whether it was because he was considering the dark side and he wanted to get his crap straightened out, or whatever the case may be. You know, he was caught with Jared in Subway. You never know.
Well, we got that because that's the big thing. I mean, what in the entire Star Wars universe plotline would lead? You know what I'm saying? Would lead you to believe that Luke Skywalker would go to the dark side? I mean, is there any clues along the
I
way?
didn't say he went to the dark side.
Well,
I
would
said
or
he,
could.
he considered it.
Right.
I mean, you have to admit, if you follow the show, which I know you have, but he's had his hand cut off. He realized that Darth Vader, one of the super bad guys, is his dad.
Right.
chances are you're going to stick with the family business.
No, you're right, Eddie. You're absolutely right, because if you watch that movie, there's a couple times where Darth Vader tells him to join the dark side because it's a losing battle, and he actually hesitates before he answers. So you know he was contemplating it, contemplating the idea.
I'll watch that again, but yeah, okay.
Especially when he's getting ready to knock him down the damn hole after he just cut off his
Right.
hand. You see him contemplating, like, what should I do? Jump down this hole to my death? Or should I take my father's advice?
Okay, but if that's all you're basing this on, I mean, let's see, jump to my death or take my father's advice. That would pause anybody for a second.
You know, at 16, I was pretty much thinking the same thing, and it had nothing to do with Star Wars or a lightsaber.
At that age, too, I was thinking the same thing, but it was going to Mexico because I had just stuck my friend's toothbrush in a toilet full of chemicals, and I thought I killed him.
It's okay. He didn't use it much.
Not far from this very studio.
So maybe so what you're saying is Star Wars might be going the Godfather Michael Corleone route,
Of course.
There
following
is
the
that
following the
possibility.
family business.
But you also have, you're not really sure because, at least from the information that I got, they weren't really revealing that much. I don't know if he had to sign a disclaimer or a confidentiality clause. I don't know the whole basis of how he got to see this movie when he did. Suffice it to say, he told me as much as he could. I'm going to use air quotes here when I say legally. If there was more to it, he wasn't really revealing all that much.
Yeah, going to jail for spoiling Star Wars really isn't my idea of a good
What
date.
are you in for?
What are you in for? I'll give you a lightsaber, boy.
Hence the reason why I'm not mentioning any names, because I don't want to take the chance.
Hey, would you like me to play Princess Leia? No. No, that definitely would not be worth it. I think it's time to go to some music, Mr. Jones. So when we come back,
We're going to hear from the band that was in studio with us the last time we did this, which was on 4th of July Eve. We're going to hear from Blindside Thunder. Here's Blue Agave right here on Rhode Island Free Radio.